And in today's video, we're going to be needing the help of our Pokemon Sitting Cutie plushie pals to change a power steering pump in a Chevy Impala 2009. First thing you want to do is move that coolant reservoir out of the way. Locate the oil cap, that's the radiator cap, and then this is our power steering pump, the one with the steering wheel on it and the little wavy lines on there. This fuel box or fuse box might get in the way, so we're going to remove this bracing bar. Not really necessary, but I do want to bring out Sentret for this. That's socket Sentret. It's going to help us with all our socket needs and ratchet needs today. So go ahead and that's a loosen up the ratchet there. Pop on the 13 mil. Go ahead and break that free. Loosen that up. And this will also work for a Chevy Impala 2006 to 2011. Pretty much all the same model there. Go ahead and loosen those up. Take those bolts out. Set them aside to Sentret. They'll take care of that. And loosen that third one up. I just wanted to have that bar out of the way. You don't really need to remove this. Not necessary. Definitely an extra step. Boom. And we have this fuse box here that's just kind of gonna be in your way no matter what, but you will definitely be able to work around it if you remove that bar or like such. And do not forget, this is the most important step: remove that negative battery terminal before you start working with electrical or anything like that, even bolts at all. And what we're gonna need is our Serpentine belt Salamence to help us loosen this up. Grab your Serpentine bar, go ahead, pop it in place there, right down there. It's a little extra look. And you're just going to want to pull towards the front of the car. Right, like such. And then you should be able to move the pulley and get to those 3 bolts. Go ahead and ask Sentret for your socket, but to see, you might need the ability of the compound eyes, and Butterfree's got your back for that. No problem. So with Butterfree helping you see in there, you can see those 3 bolts, easy to get to, right there. Both 13 mils as well, or standard size, whatever. Go ahead and loosen those bolts out. There's one. And set it aside to Butterfree. They'll help you take care of all those bolt needs and keeping those in place, because Sentret's got our other 3. And this is where you're going to need that Serpentine belt help from Salamence. There you go, loosen that, and now you're able to freely take off that Serpentine belt off the power steering pump pulley, as you can see here. Just go ahead and pull that out of the way. And now, yeah, don't let it come off the alternator. It's just going to get a little ridiculous. Tighten that back up. And now the pulley for the power steering pump can freely move, thus allowing you access to all. Yeah, that goes underneath there, and then it goes over the power steering pulley. Now you can turn it, allowing you access to the other bolts. Ask Sentret to get you that socket there. Go ahead, bust those out with a 13 mil. Boom. Or whatever standard size, once again, on your Chevy Impala. Thank you, Butterfree. Thank you, Sentret. Go ahead, pick up the ratchet there. And twist that third one out. And as you can see, when the third one comes out, the pump becomes free. There's also another 13 mil bolt. It's going to hold that in place. And when you get rid of that, and it will allow you to pull the power steering pump up with the high pressure line. Okay, and this is your pulley remover kit that you can rent from the local Pokemart. And there's the instructions there if you need those. But this right here is your tightener, and this is your loosener. This is going to remove the... Oh, what's up, Kashi? Might need a little bit of help from Kashi here.
Whoa, what is this? Do you know how to do this? Do you know what you're doing? I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, Kashi's got her back. And this is the removal tool, the one in the middle. So you're going to tighten that all the way to where it's flush with the edge there. Put one of the brackets in there. Scoop it up on the side right there to where you can see that there. Put the other bracket on top. And then slide that on there. And before you let go, hold that right there and then just twist it in place to kind of get it snug. And then you can let your hands off of it and go get the ratchets that you need. So I used a 22 mil on the big side of it and then a 5/8 wrench on the side closest to us. Right there, that's the 5/8. And then you're just going to hold the 22 mil in place and then pull that 5/8 towards you, or towards the front of the car, if you will. Boom, break that free. It's going to take quite a bit of time. And then we did lose some video, but we're back. And this is the high pressure line right there. Used a 5/8 wrench to get to that. Break that free, and then you should be easy to come out with just twisting it by hand. Break that free there. And shouldn't come pouring out. We had to cover the other hole right there from the low pressure line, but the high pressure line didn't bleed everywhere. It was okay. Right, and you're able to just gently place that there and get that old power steering pump out of the way. Remove the hose clamp. Pull off the hose. Pop. Take off the the cap, and then pop out your brand new one. Put your power steering pump cap on there. Beautiful. It might take a bit to kind of get flush on there, but make sure it is. Install the new hose. Install your hose clamp. Then twist on that high pressure line. Tighten it by hand. Use that 5/8 wrench to tighten it up there. Make sure that's really tight. That is your high pressure line. You want that tight for sure. Double check that. Make sure it's extra tight. And then now you're able to install the low pressure line with just sliding the hose on there. Then get your hose clamps. Slide it on there. Now this is the bracket that you had to remove in order to get the power steering pump out as well. I was not able to show that the first time, but it is a 13 mil bolt there. Just screw that in there. Shouldn't be hard to locate that at all. It's a very common bolt to remove when really working with the water pump or anything in this general area. Tighten that down.
All right, now show that I'm going.
Might have to go ask Sentret for the socket there. Absolutely. Tighten it up. Thanks, Sentret. Tighten that down, and then you want to get the tightener tool, or the installer tool, I guess, if you will. Go ahead, try to put that on there the best you can. It's not gonna slide on there the easiest, but if you tighten that in there, or twist the installer tool on there. I have a 17 mil flare nut wrench on one end, and then a 9/16 on the end closest to me. And you do not need to move the ratchet, just move the wrench, or the flare nut wrench that is tightening the pulley on. And slowly but surely, that thing will be on there. And now you've installed your power steering pump pulley and all the lines. So thank you, Phanphy, for being a power steering pump pal. then you can go ask Butterfree for those bolts back. And you're going to have to slide it up and down. As you can see, that thread in the back has to match up with that thread right there. But I know you can do it. You got it, no problem. And it was actually easier to go for the bottom left, the one closest to the firewall of the car. Yeah, just go ahead and tighten that in there. You got it, no problem. We got the 13 mil socket on there, thanks to Sentret. Tighten that down. Boom, boom, boom. No problem. Make sure that's snug on there, but don't tighten it too much. Could snap the bolt. Grab another bolt from Butterfree. Butterfree with the bolts. And might have to wiggle the power steering pump in place, but in order to get to that bolt there, I had to tighten the one all the way down, so I was able to move the pulley around to the other side. And thank you, Butterfree, for that last bolt. Tighten down the last bolt to the power steering pump. Then get Salamence to work on that serpentine belt. So we can go over the alternator, under that pulley, yeah, over the alternator, under that pulley right there. And then we go over the power steering pump pulley. Try to get yours to match up somewhat similar to this. And then check all the places before you let it loose, like the one, the pulley all the way down there in the bottom left is definitely a bit off. You want to check that. So we're going to go fix that. And that should really be it. Don't forget to top the power steering pump reservoir off with some fluid. Hope this helped.